Let's compute odds using probability. Now, first, let's talk about odds in general. So we have an event, let's call it event E, and we could have A, which would be the favorable outcome, or what we want to have happen, or we could say we have B, which is the unfavorable outcome, what we do not want to happen, because that's basically the thing, right? If we're talking about an event, we either want something to happen or we don't. Those are two pieces. So when we talk about odds in favor of the event E, we would say that's A to B, or we could write it as with a colon, right? The ratio. So it's favorable over unfavorable because we are looking in favor. So favorable on top. When we talk about odds against, well, against is kind of like unfavorable. So we would say B over A or B to A. So odds against, we put the unfavorable on top. So let's say in a turtle race, slow roller has 6-2 odds. Have you guys ever seen a turtle race? They are so fascinating. Anyway, has 6-2 odds of winning. What does this mean, first of all? Okay, so let's start there. What does this mean? So 6-2 odds of winning. That means in favor. So that means the first number, we have 6 is favorable, and 2 is unfavorable. And then you're still thinking, well, I still don't know what that means. Well, that's fine, okay? So that means 6 plus 2 is 8. So for every 8 races, we would expect slow roller to win 6 and lose 2. That's what the odds mean. So they're saying if you put them together, 6 plus 2 is 8. We're talking about 8 total races. 6 is favorable, so that's winning. And 2 is unfavorable, which is losing. So what is the probability? Let's look at the part 2. What is the probability of slow roller winning? Well, remember, probability is basically favorable over the total. So if favorable is 6 and the total is 8, then the probability is 3/4 or 75%, 0.75. So you can see the difference between probability and odds. Odds goes favorable to unfavorable. Probability goes favorable to all. Okay, so the probability we know is favorable plus all, which is favorable plus unfavorable. If we know probability but we want odds, we can work backwards, right? So odds in favor can be written as the probability of the event over 1 minus the probability of the event. Because remember, 1 minus the probability of the event is the complement, which the complement is not happening, which is exactly what unfavorable means. And then odds against is you want the complement in the top, which is 1 minus the probability over the probability. So it's the same idea where probability of E is favorable and the 1 minus probability of E, which is the complement, is unfavorable. Okay, let's do an example. My teacher allows each student to choose a piece of paper from a bag, noting one of 3 things, right? So the papers are all the same size, so equal chance of getting all of them. There are 15 candy items, 5 items offering bonus points, and 5 granting a free homework pass. First question, what is the probability of randomly choosing a homework pass? Okay, so we're talking probability. So we want homework pass over the total because it's probability. Well, there are 5 homework passes over 15 plus 5 plus 5. That's 25 total. So my homework pass, probability of getting a homework pass is 1/5. Okay, so now let's go to part 2. What are the odds in favor of the homework pass? So we want homework pass on the top and not homework on the bottom, right? Because favorable is getting the homework pass and unfavorable is everything else. So there are 5 homework passes and 20 that are not, because 15 candies and 5 bonus points are not. So 15 plus 5 is 20. So that gives us a 1-4 odds in favor. So for every 5 times you pull something out, 1 time should be a homework pass, 4 times will not be a homework pass. Third one, odds against the homework pass. So now, if we're going against, we want not homework in the top and homework in the bottom. So we're really just flipping the one previous. So 20 over 5, which is 4 over 1, or 4 to 1. Now you'll notice 4 over 1 is, that you'd say, well, that reduces to 4. And while that's true as a fraction, we're talking about odds. And with odds, you have to have a favorable and an unfavorable. You have to have 2 pieces. So we need to leave that as 4 to 1. And I believe, oh, we have one more. I'm told the odds of a team winning a game are 2 to 9. So what is the probability of this team winning? Okay, so if the odds are 2 to 9, that means 2 wins for every 9 losses. That's what this is saying. So the total is 11. So the probability of the team winning would be 2 over 11. And that is playing with odds and probability.